Imagine a world where a single invisible gas didn't just sustain life, but actively forged it, pushing evolution into uncharted territories. That's the powerful story emerging from a groundbreaking new study that rewrites our understanding of life's deep-sea origins. Approximately 390 million years ago, the ancient oceans underwent a profound and permanent transformation. For the first time, oxygen began to permeate the deep, dark waters of the outer continental shelves, creating entirely new habitats that had been barren for eons. This pivotal shift, the research suggests, was the direct catalyst for a massive underwater migration, as marine animals began to colonize these previously uninhabitable depths. But here's the fascinating twist. This life-giving oxygen surge wasn't driven by something in the ocean, but by a revolution happening on land. The study points to the above-ground spread of the planet's first woody plants, the precursors to Earth's initial forests, as the primary engine. As these plants multiplied, they pumped vast amounts of oxygen into the atmosphere, which eventually dissolved into and replenished the ocean's depths. This rise in deep-sea oxygen coincided perfectly with an explosive period of diversification, particularly among jawed fish, the ancient ancestors of nearly all vertebrate species alive today, including us. This finding strongly suggests that oxygenation didn't just enable life to exist, it actively shaped the very patterns of evolution for prehistoric species. The study, published in the prestigious journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, tackles a long-standing debate. As co-lead author Michael Kipp, an assistant professor at Duke University, explains, "We've known oxygen is a necessary condition for animal evolution, but proving it was the sufficient condition that actually drove diversification trends has been incredibly difficult to pin down. This study is a strong vote that oxygen did, in fact, dictate the timing of early animal evolution, at least for the arrival of jawed vertebrates in the deep ocean." And this is the part most people miss. For decades, scientists believed the deep ocean oxygenated in one big event around 540 million years ago. This new research, however, reveals a more complex story of stop and start phases. The team uncovered evidence of two major oxygenation events. The first was a temporary pulse during the Cambrian period, but the second, beginning between 393 and 382 million years ago during the Middle Devonian, was the game changer. It was permanent and continues to this day. So how do you measure oxygen in an ocean that vanished millions of years ago? The ingenious method involved analyzing ancient sedimentary rocks that formed on the deep seafloor. The team focused on the element selenium trapped within them. Here's a simple way to understand it. In oxygen-rich waters that can support animal life, the ratio of heavy to light selenium isotopes fluctuates wildly. In oxygen-poor waters that are hostile to life, that ratio remains flat and consistent. By meticulously measuring these ratios in 97 rock samples from across 5 continents, the researchers could read the ancient ocean's oxygen levels like a history book. The data painted a clear picture. The permanent oxygenation of the deep ocean during the Middle Devonian triggered what experts call the mid-Paleozoic marine revolution. As oxygen became a stable feature in deeper waters, jawed fish, gnathostomes, and other animals began to invade and spectacularly diversify in these new frontiers. This may also be why animals started getting much larger. More oxygen could support bigger, more active bodies. Now, here's where it gets controversial. While the link between land plants and deep-sea oxygen is compelling, could we be overstating the case? The cause of the first temporary oxygenation event in the Cambrian remains a complete mystery, a reminder that nature is rarely driven by a single factor. This invites a crucial debate. Was oxygen the sole architect of this evolutionary Big Bang, or was it just one star player in a much more complex ensemble of environmental changes? The research, while focused on the ancient past, rings with urgent relevance for our present day. Kipp draws a direct parallel. Today, there's abundant ocean oxygen in equilibrium with the atmosphere. But in some locations, ocean oxygen can drop to undetectable levels. This work shows very clearly the link between oxygen and animal life in the ocean. This was a balance struck about 400 million years ago, and it would be a shame to disrupt it today in a matter of decades. This forces us to confront a critical question. We are currently creating low-oxygen dead zones through fertilizer runoff and industrial activity. If it took a geological age to establish this delicate balance, what gives us the right to unravel it in a single century? Do you believe we are prioritizing short-term economic gains over the fundamental health of our planet's life support systems? We want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree that this ancient history is a stark warning for our modern world?